Welcome loyal and supportive viewers. This time we will be observing the strength of Argosax the Chaos, the demon king that was equal to that of the demon emperor Mundus in terms of authority. Though the true superior who is the perfect being and god of hell, or heaven on how you view it, a supernatural ultimate god, the Despair Embodied, the separate entity that was summoned by Argosax the Chaos. This is where the truth of what Despair Embodied was and is revealed. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can find interesting videos all on this channel. The founding deity of power scaling. Your view matters and is greatly appreciated. My channel is mainly revolving around Devil May Cry and Dragon Ball, but in general the action, battle, sci-fi genre. You'll see things that'll really catch your eye, but I like to retain and evolve my world. Remember, we are here to enjoy the facts and supported truth of a character or world view. So sit back while I transport you to the world and enjoy the show of power scaling. The Devil May Cry world isn't what you think. You see, people don't realize it includes the omniverse. Yes, the omniverse. Every alien, monster, legend, god, human, demon, concept, religion, emotion, energy, art, etc. is within and connected to the world of Devil May Cry. Games and other works of arts like Onimusha, Devil Kings, Okami, Darkstalkers, Bayonetta, Beautiful Joe, Wonderful 101, DGR, Warriorverse, Marvel crossovers, Bandai crossovers, Dark Hunter novels, Tales of, Toriko, Persona, SMT, etc. I could go on all day. Nevertheless, the big bad demons we don't see on the surface, well, the world where demons in any metaverse, archverse, hyperverse, capverse, etc. aren't ever close to the beings from the outside. As showcased at the presentation screen of the main character, we
Let's rock, baby.
follow which is Dante, the legendary demon hunter, son of Sparda, the legendary Dark Knight. His power destroying Capcom reality, doing what he wants, showing that his power is unfathomable and unknown. Outside of even Capcom batteries, scalping demons and gods. That's a divine comedy. I know y'all never even caught that. Argosax the Chaos is the demon who shared timelines and worlds of history ruled with Mundus. After the sealing of Pluton, the prior demon lord, Argusax was already a ruler. However, Mundus, having an infinite army and allegiance with the legendary demon knight, who turns out to be a king, was able to usurp Pluto. That demon who sealed Pluto was Sparda. That defeat falls under Mundus, as Sparda at the time was okay with Mundus being an emperor, though at some point his tyranny wanted to spread and be omnipotent over everything and everyone's sovereign, which threatened Sparda kingdoms of worlds, but also all of the realities that exist beyond his own world. When Mundus was defeated, Mundus had reigned supreme over all of the underworld he shared. In a time where Dante faced him a second time, he was supreme and even became the outside world itself, cut off from all realities. And darkness shown in DMC1 and the DMC2 Part 1 story, a black void beyond history, that Dante destroyed all of that parallel world by defeating Mundus. It eradicated the whole different reality of dimensional worlds. There is also another world beyond where Virgil is actually Master Virgil and does the same thing and kills Dante as well, while obtaining Sparda's power. These outfits actually were placed in DMC4 SE, Master Dante and Master Virgil in the clothes of their father, following their father's footsteps verbatim. Hence Virgil able to transform in Sparda form, but Yamato does not change. It's already legendary as it's a blade that slays and seals the light and dark universes too. Even in the first encounter, after 2,000 years, Mundus reigned supreme and was planning to rule over all the worlds before Dante defeated him. Then you have other worlds where Mundus did reign and still be defeated. Samsara and Nirvana shenanigans. Mundus would never win, pretty much. Though back on track, when Mundus was defeated, he didn't get killed by Sparda. Instead, he was at first, but you know how time goes on, more things start to uncover and you find out that he actually wasn't technically dead. Though, back on track, He got usurped by Argusax 1,000 years later, who took over all the underworld, adding to his ruling throne of power. Due to his power, he's able to rebirth and force connect worlds and beings from any past or future, conceptual manipulation and manifestation like Mundus, but on a higher level, making him the true Demon King. He was also the ruler of chaos, as Demon Lord Thanatos and Legion was under his rule, as well as the extra-dimensional Makai world and more, all within the underworld, showing how vast the dark unbounded dimensions beyond space-time are. He was a demonic mass like Nightmare and Arkham, but one who extraordinarily surpasses them. Not even Ifrit's flames were as hot as the demon's Taurus, which that demon was summoned by the new Prince of Darkness, and Balrog, a demon that had took over after his grace's fall, whose flames were harder than even Burial, the son of Mundus. As stated by Pharjra, there was gods and humans always battling to control the world, but when it came to the most evil demon, no one could stop it. Even Matilda, before 2,000 years ago, was able to temporarily seal the demon, who was far more powerful than any entity the world came across in the mortal realm. However, being known as a powerful matriarch in that era, she gave her life and soul up to keep the demon sealed, splitting the power between 6 artifacts, but even that was for naught. Pluto was so powerful, Sparda and the Guardian family 1,000 years ago had to seal him collectively in the plane of Zephyr, which leads you to dimensions of Sumtar, subspace universes of the ice realms, where not only he was sealed, but in another dimension that shadowed 1,000 years of history, who also was his lover, Medea. There's even a demon that ate all of space-time, the Beast Heads, which was taken from the demon world to the human world, where Pluto and Medea was sealed. None of these demons could stand up to the power of Sparda. There was even a human that became a demon, who was a scientist and cannibal. Think of someone like Dr. Hero Strange and Hannibal Lecter if they was to be fused together or something. They came after this character though. That exceeded even Arkham in attaining power. He ate a beast head statue and attained power of omnipotence. He could use any demon or entity skills and powers throughout all of history. Infinity of knowledge. Faster than assault demons with instantaneous attacks, coupled with moving at non-agent times faster than quantum speeds, which is already at its lowest, sits tens of thousands of times faster than light. Far colder than cold, that's colder than absolute zero level of freeze. The strength greater than fighting spirits who can hold multiversal worlds in the palms of their hands. Faster than devil hunters created by Pluto that cross ever ultra infinite hyperverses or archverses in no elapsed time millennia ago. That same Sparda powers whose transcendent nirvana duality and skills were now his. There was no time, it's all the same. The concept doesn't exist. Attaining power beyond nirvana, all overflowing into his body and mind, outerversal knowledge and power, manifesting metaphysically any power he wanted, metaversally, reshape and have power of causality and acausality. He could manipulate and change the world before your nervous system. Ultra instinct before ultra instinct was even a thing. Factually speaking, I'm being dead ass about all of this. This was stated. Dante gained this early on factually. All of this happens. Inaccessibly could put you in a power nullifying black omnipresence of goo. Shannon had green, fearful, and ferocious energy that was more prosperous and healing like, but destructive type of aura. Though even Dante gained an omnipotence of power once bitten by the beast heads, as stated and shown in DMC2, which was done by Shannon because that was his devil arm. Dante had knowledge to understand the omni power boost he gained to reshape any reality. Shannon was even able to bring his father's blade, any blade for that matter, which had his DNA left on it. Dante struggled and pushed himself as there was no futures or past, it's all simultaneous. This was an ascendance beyond any previous encounter, the toughest match Dante had in the past. Shannon, almost completely demon, started to evolve even Sparda's blade, and Dante, without using any demonic power or devil trigger, fighting on edge, was able to defeat Shannon. This all goes to show you how terrifying Argusax is, as the only demon known to have defeated Sparda was Abigail initially in round 1, who was sealed by the powerful human sorcerer Alan Lowell, initially perdition with the aid of Sparda. They even created an extra device with Alan's tear and Sparda's blood, which had clairvoyance to find any Sparda or his descendants. Argusax being sealed by Sparda only meant that he was suppressed. Using the Yamato, he was able to put a stop to the chaos and rule of Argusax and seal him in the void beyond the underworld, which was a prison for Argusax. And you have to understand that Sparda's Yamato could secretly turn into another devil sword Sparda. He could transmute it. That's how powerful Sparda was. He was able to dual wield two Devil Sword Spardas. Only could be accessed by gathering the artifacts guarded and scattered amongst the Protector clan. That is where Argosax the Chaos lied. Although that world wasn't an ordinary world within the underworld, it was a heavenly world that wasn't hell, that summons the ancient god of all, the Despair Embodied. Perfect in shape and form, the Hell God, or again, some demons would call him Noble God, that was beyond worlds, was born. Amalgamation of demons culminating across the simultaneous worlds, returning back to home, summoning the most ancient evil to ever exist back to the perfect one. A devil that was sealed in an extra dimensional voided prison where even demons are crushed if they aren't strong enough, where his strongest creations out of primordial chaos give rise to order in the process. The demon king of kings, the god subtracted of benevolence who gave birth to a family of demon gods. Every ailment that exists resides here, but at an unquantifiable level. This is where Sparda would have met his defeat, and demonically and alien acclaimed definitive factual surpassery of his realm of strength altogether. The Despair Embodied was so powerful that if he would have been in the human world, all worlds and beyond would connect back into an omni-singularity verse and life wipe all of existence, burning in hell immediately. A flash of hellfire, rebooting everything to reshape the world, whether demon or god, nuking upon his exit. Ragnarok would occur, something someone like Chakavar was trying probably to prepare for in the future, but got defeated by his own creation within our world, or the Oni of darkness being the guardian that created the Oni clan to protect the human world of light from that of darkness. Many extravagantly more where that came from. Despair Embodied speed was in fact insane. Durability, energy, combat power, and abilities extent was unquantifiable and unknown. It all massively outclassed any previous entity that Dante had encountered. He was able to match even Dante in swordsmanship after all of his insane giga amplification for this battle, and every devil arm amps you to certain amounts of degree unknown, but it's to be thought to be ever evolving, like fusions with transformations. TDE, immortality on a conceptual level. Even his walks were speed on an incalculable scale that devastate the outer verses of heaven and hell. As the demon god that wields a plethora of demonic powers, the infernal verses knows and his own. Even the most powerful human sorcerer with strong hand-to-hand combat at the time, and president of Ouroboros Corp, who Shannon was a business partner with, as the underworld bosses goes on the planet, even could summon a demon entity that was superior to even Nightmare and Abigail. The Nefestaris would feel his godly wrath. Ares was like a god and created Lucia, or aka Kais, which is just man-made demons, wielded magical power akin to the god of light, could even say a reincarnation of Fortinbras, the creator god. And the truth of Matier eyes, as she didn't even wield more power than he. However, even just a bit of power from Argusax was too much for Ares to handle, and corrupted, swallowing his soul and transforming him to an Argusax minion, none of which compared to the androgynous being who was slain with little difficulty by the legendary devil hunter Dante, whose name is literally Devil May Cry, and is the being who has the black wings of treachery. Actually, he's noted to be a giant, by the way. Dante had indeed made the devil cry and erased him from utter existence. The Despair Embodied, even though being defeated by Dante, is an infinitesimal number of beings that could even stand before him. Argusax even stronger than Shinshin Da Shang, the black one, which is all the demon Sun Wukong, who is the grandfather of Sun Sun and Sun Sun. The first uncontested demon in Heaven's the Fire, advanced dark sage, and planter of the Clyfar tree that was defeated by Dante before it could bloom. Stronger than beings like Chakavar and the Creator, who's the embodiment of life, ruler of Naraka and abyssal devil king Nobunaga Oda, jet black in the movie land dimension, and even Sigma and Buddha too. Hence the room of the fallen ones and more. That goes to show the evil strength that the Despair Embodied possessed, pre-existing before the world was even born, just like Sparda, Oni of Darkness, Fortune Bros the Creator, Wukong, Pluto, the Infinite One Rodin, Aesir Laptir, Thanatos, and many others. This is eons ago before the Precambrian time. As stated, the world was born from darkness. Hence my transcendent omnipotence and prescience Virgil video. You should check it out in DMC5, showing you how much more powerful the sons of Sparda are. This mission to take on Argusax and Despair Embodied has shown he was on another level. Dante thought Argusax was an overrated demon king to an extent, not too much, but one his father could have defeated if he had all of his powers on his own. However, the perfect entity and true being, his true form, the Despair Embodied that lacked eminence, was the real opponent. That was not an exaggeration. Not even Mundus, whose true form wasn't perfect, nor did the more powerful later parallel version was anywhere near perfect, just became a voided nexus in the book. Practically any demon emperor or king that attains omnipotence or becomes God sits beyond all dimensionalities and concepts by default, no matter the number in Devil May Cry. I like to call it a bound universal level. You are to just fight and prove you're the strongest. Despair Embodied was a real ultimate devil, but due to the things it lacked, was not the alpha nor the omega. Dante made sure that it was erased from existence indefinitely. In conclusion, even though the game of DMC2's gameplay is nowhere near as good as any other entry that can be corrected, the story and world is worth it. That wasn't the final part of DMC2's story. Dante gets out of the endless void, and the story is extended in another game where Lucifer is the true demon king of the netherworld, or you can call him TDK. Nevertheless, DMC2 is a mainline game that definitely can use an Oblivion-like remaster, while a DMC2 remake could be the part 1 story, which is fire, while also doing a part telling about mainline Trish, as she also was on mission, possibly gathering up devil arms in another world separate, residing in the demon world. She also knew about Argusax, and he was not one to be fucked with. I know some are like, dang, how the heck did Dante lose to Clive in a death battle? That's because Death Battle doesn't like Devil May Cry. They had Virgil lose to Sephiroth. Clive couldn't even wield a godlike power for combat and had to give it up because he couldn't exist for long, and that was just for the damn universe, straight up destroying him. Clive doesn't scale to Dante at all, much less Final Fantasy 16 or any other Final Fantasy at that scale to Dante. But Final Fantasy 16 is still strong. I hope you enjoyed the videos today, and thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and peace out.
Да, сделаешь, и то уж не прислать мне.